Since the beginning of the pandemic, stay home has been a very popular term. Now, a lot of people have agreed to it, and there are many people who didn't exactly like to follow it. Now, that has created a certain divide of the way that we think about traveling, and it has also brought a new term to throw guilt and shame on other people who are traveling called travel shaming. Now, in this video today, we will be talking about exactly what it is and how we can deal with it in today's circumstances. Firstly, it cannot be denied that the virus became a whole global pandemic because of travel. Now, that's how the virus traveled so fast. It was because of people going to different places from different countries between them, unaware that they were actually sick. So this interconnectivity is actually the one that gives the virus a possibility to travel around with us without being aware of it. And the lack of such care could actually bring certain chaos between different countries. And one of the examples I can think about is Taiwan, actually, when they were able to hold the virus in their country for such a long time, and all of a sudden, a couple of months back, things just changed very drastically. And that may explain why certain countries keep on changing their regulations and their country's access policies. But the whole point is, how has travel actually affected the pandemic, and how has that led to
travel shaming?
Although many people maybe just don't understand the science or the data backed up behind what I am saying, a lot of them just kind of feel that it's not right to be traveling right now. It may feel wrong because of the way that travelers are really handling the situation. I mean, some of them are not helping themselves, posting pictures everywhere, just not wearing a face mask, kind of showing that they really don't care about what is going on in this whole global pandemic. And this kind of reminds me of The Lion King. Now, when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of these type of movies, and it reminded me of this part of the movie specifically where Simba exiles Kovu because he is guilty of preparing an ambush for Simba along with Zira. Well, they try to kill him and Nuka ends up dead. Okay, so maybe it seems like I am a fan, but to be honest, I didn't remember the names until I looked them up again. The point is, whether Kovu was guilty or not, we never know, and we probably never will. And Simba decided to take an action regardless of that. He decided to exile him and just get rid of him on the kingdom. Now, the same thing could be happening. We could say that it is happening with travelers. Is it that people maybe are doing certain things that appear to be wrong, but maybe are not exactly wrong? Or maybe from the other side, the people are actually judging or throwing rocks at people without having the whole situation and taking everything into account. So what was for Kovu being exiled of the kingdom, it is for travel influencers and everyone who's posting pictures getting that hate on social media. Wow, you're so irresponsible. You're so selfish. Like, how could you do this? You should be home, stay home. But we have to acknowledge both sides and both parties. I mean, when it comes to emotions, it is true that a lot of us have been struggling during this time. And it is also true that maybe the people who have been traveling or doing something else have also suffered of certain things. Now, we could be talking about fatigue, we could be talking about anger, we could be talking about shame or fear or responsibility and even guilt if you are a victim of travel shaming. That's why it is such a polarizing topic, because it is emotional for a lot of us. It's just like talking about Hawaiian pizza with pineapple. By the way, Hawaiian pizza without pineapple is not Hawaiian pizza. But everyone deals with every single situation in a very different way. I mean, not everyone is happy about what is happening, and some are traveling, some are not traveling. Everyone is deciding by their own means. There will always be different opinions about everything. Having differences is normal. What's not cool maybe is the judging part. Like, if I speak for myself, I personally decided not to travel. I mean, I've been in Mexico ever since the pandemic started. And if I ask myself those questions, I mean, do I want to be able to travel? Hell yes. Did I feel frustrated because I was seeing other people traveling while I am at home? Yeah, but did I judge anyone for doing it? No. And even if I did, would I really feel better just throwing rocks at someone and actually shaming someone for doing a travel while I was at home? Not really. And for those who chose to travel, can it feel like they are self-absorbed? Yeah. Maybe thinking that they're selfish? Yeah. But we can't judge everyone in this situation. We really just don't know what their reasons are. Not everyone traveling is selfish. They may have a couple of reasons that we don't understand, and it could be maybe visiting family, it could be relieving stress, maybe heading back to their country. Whatever it is that they have, they are going through a certain thing that we are not aware of. Now, just recently when I traveled to the US, I actually looked within and I thought of myself, what is it that makes me feel guilty about traveling even if I'm not traveling? I thought maybe because of the perspective I had about traveling and thinking that my reason to travel wouldn't be a good enough excuse to head somewhere. Well, the fact is, while I was going through the airport, I realized that many people were already traveling. At this point, I mean, over a year now. But that doesn't mean that I have to change the way that I do things, not because other people don't care would mean that I don't care, but it does change my perspective and it does change my objective or my relative thinking about it. What's funny is the airport could seem like one of the safest places out of all the other places that maybe I could be spending my time in. Think about it, I mean, maybe a bar, a supermarket, maybe a mall, maybe a theater, wherever that you go may not be as safe as an airport because everyone is wearing face masks, they are wearing the shields and gloves and whatever. While in other places, maybe people don't even care. They don't wash their hands, maybe they don't wear a face mask, and they are constantly surrounded by other people. And the perception of traveling is kind of broken. I mean, the truth is, not traveling does not equal safety. You could be at home and you could be in your local town and yet be in a way more risky environment than what it is when you are actually traveling. Many people haven't even left home and have been more exposed than some travelers. So instead of just thinking, nobody should travel, you should all stay at home, we gotta understand that travel is not created equal. Does it mean domestic travel? Does it mean maybe a road trip? Are you getting on a plane? Are you traveling abroad? Are you visiting your family? Not all circumstances are the same. And the fact that you think that traveling is wrong does not mean that you should be throwing rocks at other people. So a little tough love for you. Before you judge other people, look at yourself and ask yourself, are you really the role model or are you really someone who is worth hearing an answer from? Pointing finger at others? I bet not. Not even me. And just like the phrase says, haters gonna hate. There's always gonna be toxic people and jealous people who are gonna judge whatever thing that you do. So might as well just do what you want to do. Just to be clear, I'm not telling you to travel carelessly. What I'm saying is, just as there are many travelers, there's also a lot of people who didn't travel, who stayed at home, and also effed up way more than the travelers. So I don't care if you travel or not. I mean, you could be stupid at home too. But the point is, if you decide to travel, you should be taking into account that your actions might affect other people. And so if you want to be able to live with yourself and be at peace with yourself, you got to make sure that you take the right measures when you do that type of decision. That's why it's always good to be conscious about the impact of the actions you make. Overall, I believe in not harming people, but that doesn't mean that I will stop living my life. You may be thinking by now, well, Eduardo, you said you wanted to travel, but you're not traveling. Why is that then? Well, there's a couple of reasons. And in the next video, I will be sharing exactly why is it that despite the fact that I wanted to travel, I decided not to during this pandemic. Hey amigo, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon below somewhere here so you get notified when that next video is out. Давай, пока.